So I'm going to talk about the Ellis Tarot Deck. This is a deck that's not published by a huge press. It is sold from the website, or actually got this one on Amazon. And this one is the 4th edition, and illustrations.net is the website. Copyright 2013. The box is glossy and hard, and in the box you get a spread card with the different spreads. You get the card about the author, and it says he began work on the Ellis deck with the Chariot card in 2010. By 2013 the deck was complete. And you can download the little white book, he says, and there's he's available on Instagram. And then it also came with a mini poster, and gives you sort of a short reading in that. This is made out of sort of a glossy paper, which is nice. So let's look at the cards. I know I have not shuffled this deck, so it'll be in order, and the cards seem to be reversible. The image itself is very strange and interesting, and this is a quirky deck. It's an illustrated deck. It is an interesting deck. The graphics, it's almost like it was made in an illustration program, like maybe Illustrator or Photoshop. The colors are very jewel toned, not terribly cartoony, but again, it's pretty much an art deck, but it's highly usable, which I like. So let's start looking at the cards. We have the Fool, very small, thorny foreground, precipice, a dog. We have the usual symbols, stars, the Magician. It's a strange little card, but it has the typical symbols: the sword, the wand, the cup, and the pentacles. And then you have this background. The fonts at the bottom tend to change and go, so it's definitely a computer designed deck. Someone did this on the computer. High Priestess, the Empress, Emperor, and it's going by the Rider-Waite, but it's the artist's interpretation. The Lovers, the Chariot, which is on the cover of the box. I think it reminds me of snow, and you have the planets in the background, and it's a cool card. Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel, Justice. I like how this card is in black and white, good and evil, dark and light, no gray area, really. It's kind of cool. The Hangman is actually, it's kind of a cute card with the rabbit. He has an eye he's holding on an apple. Death, an hourglass is featured with, there's actually a bloom at the top. Temperance. The Devil. The goats down here are kind of cool and quirky. There's not a lot of the astrological symbols, the elemental symbols aren't really there, as well as the Hebrew alphabet. These are left off this deck. The Tower. There's no people falling. The tower's been sliced. The star. This is almost a very abstract card, but I mean it's radiating. You see a star, and it looks like it's a phoenix bird that's popping out. The moon, which is a really cool card. The sun, person clothed like a bird. Judgment. So notice how this is a perfect example of the jewel tones and the distinct colors. You know, it's not subtle colors. They're very bam, bam. You know, they are different, distinct. The world. And then we get into the minor arcana. But the simplicity of these cards is actually nice in itself. You know, there is thought put into these. I said it wasn't cartoony. The major arcana isn't terribly as cartoony as the minor arcana. I mean, simplified features, different skin tones. I mean, I don't feel this card is cartoony, whereas this one is a little cartoony. Pentacles. Rods. And the way this deck came is the way I'm presenting it. So the you know, the fives of the four suites are together, the six, you know, and so forth. And you see the symbols and the way the people are depicted sort of mirrors Rider-Waite. This one's a cool card. Cartoony, but very much an illustrator's deck. I mean, this is, you know, the artist did this on the computer. The clean lines are refreshing. There's a colorful card. This reminds me of the Thoth colors, the jewel tones. There's a lot going on there. Seems like some cards demanded a little more illustration than others. It's funny they put the page before, the page after the queen, and then the knight, and then the king. And we have the kings. So very different in the way when you get the deck, how it's sorted already. And the last king. So that was the deck, 78 cards. Quick and dirty review. The cards, they slide fairly easily. not too glossy. They have, I mean, it's pretty standard. I mean, the size in my hand, it feels nice. The edges are not, that's one thing I never talk about, the edges. These edges are like ridiculously soft and smooth. They did a great job cutting these out. Whereas some decks, you know, it's rough, it feels like it's uneven. This one is amazing. I mean, the outside, it definitely, it's rough. You're feeling the non-coated paper, but it's perfect. It fits in my hand. It feels like a stick of chalk almost. So I'm going to put this back in the box and seal it back up. And there. That is the Ellis Tarot Deck. It says Tarot, the Ellis Deck. The Ellis Deck, the Ellis Tarot Deck. I've heard it called lots of things, but it is still in print. I have no idea what the first, second, and third editions look like. If there's variations, there's been improvement. Maybe it's just the printing. You know, usually when you say edition, something's changed. When you say printing, it means just the initial printing has been extended because they didn't print enough. So edition to me means something's changed, something's been updated. Maybe there was something that wasn't quite right with the tarot. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up and do some research. But, you know, when you get a book, the 4th edition is a little different. Sometimes it's a little different. Sometimes it's a lot different than, you know, the previous edition. So that I cannot answer. But thank you for watching.